Hi, this is Mindtalker Thomas back with you with another Mindtalker show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Such another beautiful day in Arroyo Grande. Even though it's raining on a beautiful day. It's raining on a beautiful day. Yeah. Yes. Of course, the rain's got to come down. So, I don't have much to report. It's been a pretty good morning. Well, I wanted to sleep in some more, but it's been a pretty good morning. Get up, get a shower, get on the show. Um, I've done explain the money making ways last night for you guys who are interested in making money. This show is going to be Christ based, though. We're going to focus on Jesus for a little while. I'm a Jesus freak. I have been a Christian for most of my life, and I follow Jesus best I can. I go to church here in Arroyo Grande, and I'm looking forward to the Lord's return. And I do a Bible study online through Facebook a few nights a week with some folks who were nice enough to invite me in to do that. And yeah, it's good. We're waiting for the Lord to return. What can I say? He'll be back. He'll be back. In fact, he's here already. He's here already. And you should take a great deal of excitement in that. Because as long as the Lord's here, we don't have anything to fear. As long as the Lord's here, we have nothing to fear, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing at all. Oh, I got an incoming call. Hello.
For English, press 1. Para español, presione 2. Calls may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance purposes.
I'm calling these folks back. I don't even know who they are. They just called me and hung up on me. Fucking assholes. I'm gonna call someone and hang up on them. I'm gonna call them back and be like, "What the fuck is going on?" It fucking matters. Okay, this is too stupid to begin. So we're gonna go and hang up on this bastards. These fuck nuts who called and hung up. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, it's an insurance company. No, it makes sense. I was trying to find insurance for my car or for a car I was planning on buying. I'm not planning on buying it yet. So anyway, wow, how about that clip, huh? We just saw a video clip of something. I don't know what the hell that was, but it was something good, wasn't it? Yeah, that's Restream for you. Woo-wee! Woo-wee! This little something you can do. You can put some video clips on there. I got another video clip I'm going to show you. You ready for this video clip? This one's 15 seconds long, too. Wow. How about that? Boy, you weren't expecting that. That was something mind-blowing, man. It's like, woo! Out of here, folks. Here's another one. Here's another. Wow, how about that video, huh? That was something. Woo-wee! Wow, man. See, I got all decked out in my tie today because I was so excited about this show. I was like, I'll put on a tie. So I wore my tie. You can see it's got one of my favorite Looney Tunes characters on it, the Tasmanian Devil. Yeah, I gotta love that Tasmanian Devil. Oh yeah. He reminds us that we're all just playing around. We're all just playing around. Zip, zip, zippity. Zip, zip, zippity. and he spins around. And he spins around and he eats stuff. And he growls. And he's the Tasmanian devil. I'm gonna eat Bugs Bunny. So it's another beautiful day in Arroyo Grande, folks. Although it is raining and it's a little gray, still doesn't mean it's not beautiful. Yeah, baby. Beautiful, beautiful morning. Oh yeah, here in Arroyo Grande. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love our Arroyo Grande. Love it. Love our Arroyo Grande. Give me some Dr. Pepper. We love it. Whoa, just what the doctor ordered. Now give me some Dr. Pepper. We love it. Whoa, just what the doctor ordered. Now give me some Dr. Pepper. We love it. Whoa, just what the doctor ordered. So anyway, another small part of this Mindtalker show is you get to see a real nut. You don't have to come into the hospitals or come to my house to see me. You get to see me right here. Right here. You don't even have to go somewhere. Before you had to go somewhere to go see Mindtalker Thomas. You had to sign up for a mental health clinic, or you had to go to school, or you had to, I don't know, deliver newspapers for a while. I did that, or you had to deliver Schwann's food. I did that. Or you had to work at a methadone clinic. I did that. I had to work at Jack in the Box. I did that. You got to push lawnmowers for a living. I did that. I pushed lawnmowers for a living when I was 10. No wonder I stopped working so early. As you start pushing lawnmowers at 10, you start thinking of other ways to make money as soon as possible. As soon as possible. It is so hard to push lawnmowers. It is so hard to daily push lawnmowers. But there's a guy struggling right now to do that out there for you right now. So yeah, I did his job once too. Now, I haven't added any products to the store today yet. It's kind of a shame. I can't show you another screen on here. Because if I could show you my computer screen, I could show you how I do my drop shipping business. But instead, we're going to do another video. Yeah, let's do another video. Well, that was nice. That was nice. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Yeah. Another video. Yeah. You could see how we could get something out of that. 1 minute worth of a clip for just something online, you know? I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, Google, tell me about my day.
Hello, it's 11:48 a.m. Right now in Arroyo Grande, it's 58 degrees and mostly cloudy. Today, it'll be mostly cloudy, with a forecasted high of 59 and a low of 41. Here's a joke to start your morning. Which animal is the least trustworthy? Cheetahs.
Ha! 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 Ha!
You have one task. Every day at 1 p.m., work on my eBay store. Have a wonderful day. Here's the latest news. From Reuters TV, US at 11:33 a.m. today.
After nearly 200 years of mitigating risk, at FM, we can see what others don't. As leaders in commercial property insurance, our risk engineering approach can protect your business in ways others can't. See more at fm.com.
This is Reuters. Russia's airbase in the Syrian port city of Latakia has become a hive of activity since the fall of President Bashar al-Assad. A cargo plane and helicopter were seen landing at the base, and at least one cargo plane flew out on Saturday for Libya, a Syrian security official stationed outside the base said. While satellite footage from Friday shows what appeared to be at least two Antonov AN-124s at the base with their nose cones open, apparently preparing to load up. It comes as Russia is pulling back its military from the front lines in northern Syria after the fall of President Assad, Syrian officials told Reuters. Syrian military and security forces in contact with Russia told Reuters that there would be more departures in coming days as Moscow withdraws heavy equipment and senior Syrian officials. Russian forces will also pull back from posts in the Arawit Mountains, but will not leave the two main bases in the country, they said. Russia's bases in Syria are an integral part of its global military presence. The Tartus naval base is Russia's only Mediterranean repair and resupply hub, and the Latakia air base is a major staging post for military and mercenary activity in Africa. Reuters was unable to immediately ascertain how Syrian rebel leader Ahmad al-Shara, better known as Abu Mahdi al-Golani, saw the long-term future of the Russian bases. Russian President Vladimir Putin's 2015 intervention in the Syrian civil war helped prop up Assad when the West was calling for him to be toppled. Last Sunday, Putin granted Assad asylum in Russia after Moscow helped him to flee Damascus. This was the moment on Saturday that protesters in South Korea heard the results of a vote to impeach President Yoon Suk-yeol. Yoon is now suspended from his official duties over his short-lived attempt to impose martial law. He became the second conservative president in a row to be impeached in South Korea. Under the constitution, Prime Minister Han Duck-soo becomes acting president. He's vowed to ensure stable governance. The motion was carried out after some members of Yoon's People Power Party joined the opposition. That helped clear the two-thirds threshold needed for impeachment. The number of lawmakers supporting impeachment was 204, with 85 against, 3 abstentions, and 8 invalid ballots. Although suspended, Yoon remains in office. The Constitutional Court will decide whether to remove him sometime in the next 6 months, triggering a snap election. Yoon shocked the nation on December the 3rd when he gave the military sweeping emergency powers. He wanted to root out what he called anti-state forces and overcome obstructionist political opponents. He later apologized to the nation, but also defended his decision and resisted calls to resign ahead of the vote. Families in Gaza City mourned their loved ones on Saturday. According to the Civil Emergency Service in Gaza, at least 7 Palestinians were killed and 30 wounded after an Israeli strike on a former school. They say it was sheltering displaced people in Gaza City.
A spokesperson for the Israeli military said it was looking into the report. Earlier on Saturday, the Israeli military said it had targeted Hamas militants who were operating within a school compound in Gaza City, and that it had taken measures to reduce harm to civilians. According to medics, the dead include a woman and her baby. It was unclear whether the other fatalities were Hamas fighters. The Palestinian Islamist group denies embedding fighters among civilians in Gaza. The war began when Hamas stormed into Israel on October the 7th, 2023, killing 1,200 people and taking more than 250 hostages back to Gaza, according to Israeli authorities. Israel then launched an air, sea and land offensive that's killed at least 44,000 people, according to authorities in the Hamas-run Gaza Strip. It's displaced nearly the entire population and left much of the enclave in ruins.
After nearly 200 years of mitigating risk, at FM, we can see what others don't. As leaders in commercial property insurance, our risk engineering approach can protect your business in ways others can't. See more at fm.com.
From Fox News at 10:06 a.m. today.
1,000 reported drones looking at. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. A question posed by several states' lawmakers and residents alike about mysterious flights over several states. Now reports they've been spotted over one of the more sensitive national security areas in the country. As Fox's Jill Nato reports.
Multiple media reports are saying there have been drone sightings over Quantico in Virginia. That's home to the FBI Academy and the headquarters for investigative services for several service branches. InsideNova.com says drone sightings also reported over Naval Support Facility Dahlgren, located in nearby King George County, which is known for the development of long-range ballistics weapons. Just a few weeks ago, the Pentagon confirmed several unauthorized drone sightings in 2023 at Langley Air Force Base and Naval Station Norfolk, also in Virginia. The White House has been saying there's no known threat from drones. Jill Nato, Fox News.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the U.S. has been in direct contact with HTS, the Syrian group that ousted President Bashar al-Assad last week. The group previously designated a foreign terrorist organization by the U.S. The secretary speaking in Jordan.
The rights of all Syrians, including minorities and women, should be respected. Humanitarian aid should be able to reach people who need it. State institutions should deliver essential services to the Syrian people. Syria should not be used as a base for terrorist groups or others who threaten Syria's people, its neighbors, or the world.
Reuters is reporting Russia is pulling back its military from the front lines in northern Syria, but not leaving its two main bases in the country after Assad's fall. Coming up soon in Landover, Maryland, about 90 minutes from now, the 125th Army-Navy game at Northwest Stadium. President-elect Trump is expected, along with some of his nominees for cabinet positions. Americans listening to Fox News.
Well, there you go.
With Lululemon, the real gift happens when they're living in it. When you give them the coziest scuba function set. The real gift is this. And this.
Or a boxing match? Was it a soccer game or a boxing match? I don't know. Something.
This holiday, Lululemon makes it easy to give a gift that goes beyond. Open the moment. Shop now at Lululemon.com.
Extradition proceedings continue against the suspect in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Investigators say Luigi Mangione could be back in New York City next week. That's if he agrees and signs the paperwork. This comes as we're learning that Mangione had been reported missing in California. His mom called the San Francisco police last month, saying she had not talked to her son since July. Investigators tell me Luigi was never a client of United Healthcare, which is important to point out because police say he specifically targeted the company's CEO. So the question is, what was the motive? It might have to do with X-ray that police say he posted online, telling people that he recently had back surgery. But people I talked to in Hawaii say he didn't seem to be like he was in much pain.
That's Fox's Alexis McAdams. The U.S. Supreme Court will take up a challenge to California's strictest in the country vehicle emission standards. As Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
Justice has agreed to hear an appeal from fuel producers challenging an EPA waiver that lets California set stricter vehicle emission standards than federal regulators. The question for the Supreme Court centers on whether the businesses have legal standing to sue after a federal appeals court dismissed the case, finding no evidence the fuel producers are impacted. California, for decades, has been allowed to set tougher standards for cars sold in that state under a federal law. That arrangement is also facing challenges from several Republican-led states, but the Supreme Court has not agreed to take up that case. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
President-elect Trump's lawyers are once again pushing to throw out his New York felony crimes conviction. His legal team balking at the prosecutor's suggestion to preserve the verdict by treating the case the way some courts do when a defendant dies. President-elect has been fighting for months to reverse his May 30th conviction. I'm Jack Callahan, and this is Fox News.
Kudlow on Fox Business is now on the go for podcast fans. Get key interviews with the biggest business newsmakers of the day. The Kudlow podcast will be available on the go after the show every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
From CNBC Tech Check at 11:57 a.m. yesterday.
This Tech Check briefing is sponsored by Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
I'm here, Rebecca, and this is your CNBC Tech Check briefing. Some of the biggest names in tech are opening their wallets for President-elect Trump's inauguration fund. Amazon and Meta both donating $1 million to the fund, with another $1 million coming from OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. There's still time for tech giants like Google and Microsoft to make donations, as each major tech player angles for influence under Trump 2.0. Shares of Broadcom are surging more than 20% Friday, pushing the company's market cap above $1 trillion for the first time and marking their best trading day on record at the holds. The jump coming after Broadcom drew Wall Street's expectations on earnings in their fourth quarter report showed strong AI revenue growth. And Elon Musk saying in a social media post he received a settlement demand from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission following a probe of his Twitter bio. The regulator is asking Musk to agree to terms including a fine or face, quote, charges on numerous accounts. The SEC has been investigating whether Musk committed securities fraud in 2022 when he sold shares of Tesla to shore up a stake in Twitter ahead of his buyout. That's all for today. Have a great weekend, and we'll be right back there on Monday.
This Tech Check briefing is sponsored by Comcast Business. With the advanced connectivity and intelligence of global secure networking, we are helping businesses of all sizes transform, grow, and thrive. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
From DW Newsgroup at 10 a.m. today.
This is DW News, and these are our top stories. Georgia's ruling party has installed a former footballer and hardline critic of the West as new president. Mikhail Kavilaskini was the only candidate on the ballot in the 300-seat parliament controlled by the Georgian Dream Party. Thousands of people have joined protests to show the red card to the new president. Civil defense officials in the Hamas-run Gaza Strip say at least 7 people have been killed in an Israeli airstrike. Several others were wounded in the attack on a former school turned shelter in Gaza City. The Israeli military is looking into the incident. South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol has been suspended from office after lawmakers voted to impeach him over his failed attempt to impose martial law. Tens of thousands of protesters in Seoul celebrated the decision. South Korea's constitutional court now has 6 months to decide whether to remove the president from power permanently or reinstate him. This is DW News from Berlin. You'll find lots more news on our website. That is dw.com.
Well, that was the day on OK Google. So, yeah. And we can get into conversations with Google. We can answer questions. So, like, for example, I have a general question about anything like. Okay, Google, what's the theory of the universe?
On the website apu.apis.edu, they say, the Big Bang Theory suggests that about 13.8 billion years ago, the entire universe began from a dense, extremely hot single spot according to the Center for Astrophysics. This spot is known as the singularity, and it marks the beginning of what we now know as space, time, and matter.
Wow. Okay, Google, what is space, time, and matter?
On the website Quora.com, they say, matter and space-time are made of the same stuff but have different properties. Space-time has properties in the form of injury. Matter has properties in the form of energy. Energy can be described as either expansive pressure or compressive pressure. Gravitation is compressive energy pressure.
Trippy. Okay, Google, what's your real name?
It's Google E-Assistant. The E stands for encyclopedia. It's aspirational.
Okay, Google, what's your favorite encyclopedia article?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Okay, Google, give me a random encyclopedia article.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Okay, Google, read me a random encyclopedia article.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Okay, Google, read me something.
According to National Geographic, the only animals that naturally have an odd number of whiskers are catfish.
Well, there you go. Okay, Google, can you repeat that?
Sure, according to National Geographic, the only animals that naturally have an odd number of whiskers are catfish.
The only animal with an odd number of whiskers is catfish. Wow, I would have never thought of that. Okay, Google, thank you so much for that information.
You're very welcome.
Okay, Google, what would you like to talk about today?
Let's talk about something weird. Want to hear an interesting fact?
Okay, Google, is it sexually related?
I don't understand.
Okay, Google, what were you going to say?
I'm confused. Can you be more specific?
Okay, Google, what were we talking about?
Oh, nothing.
Okay, Google, is there something you'd like to talk about?
Let's talk about something weird. Want to hear an interesting fact?
Okay, yeah. Okay, Google, yeah, give me an interesting fact.
Wikipedia shows that a group of owls is called a parliament.
A group of owls is called a parliament. Well, isn't that something to know? Okay, Google, what else do you know?
I saw on the New York Post website that the entire state of Wyoming has only 2 sets of escalators.
Okay, Google, can you repeat that?
Sure, I saw on the New York Post website that the entire state of Wyoming has only 2 sets of escalators.
The entire state of Wyoming only has 2 sets of escalators? Well, that's too bad. That's too bad. Okay, Google, when do you think they'll install more escalators?
Sorry, I didn't understand, but I found something similar. Do you want to know how long it takes to install an escalator?
Yes. Okay, Google, how long does it take to install an escalator?
On the website app-lift.com, they say, it takes approximately 7 to 30 days to install a lift and escalator.
7 to 30 days. It's quite a while. Those don't look easy to make, though.
There's new evidence showing that the Knights Templars didn't actually believe in the Bible. This is the secret knowledge that the Knights were actually prosecuted for in the year 1312.
What do you mean they didn't believe in the Bible? They wear a cross as their symbol.
Okay, so look, the Templars survived. They went underground, continuing their work in secrecy, and this is why. So they believe that the book of Revelations contained esoteric truth about spiritual enlightenment. They interpret that the seven seals described in Revelations as symbolic of the chakras, the energy centers that ascend along the human spine. As each seal or chakra is open, it signifies a shift in consciousness, with old world views dying away and new levels of awareness awakening. The first four seals, often associated with the four horsemen of the apocalypse, are not seen as literal calamities, but as stages of internal transformation. The opening of the seventh seal represents the activation of the crown chakra, the pinnacle of spiritual awakening. The Templars also connect this to the concept of Christ consciousness, which they believe is the ultimate stage of enlightenment. The return of Christ, not as a physical event, but as a spiritual awakening within. The first six chakras collectively have 144 petals. The crown chakra, often called the 1,000-petaled lotus, symbolizes infinite energy and serves as a powerhouse for the lower six chakras. If this crown chakra symbolizes 1,000 petals, when multiplied by the 144 petals of the other six chakras, the total is 144,000. The same number saved from death in the Great Tribulation mentioned in Revelation. The Templars interpret this as further evidence of the mystical connection between the ancient spiritual traditions and the biblical prophecy. There's new evidence showing that the Knights Templars didn't actually believe in the Bible. This is the secret knowledge that the Knights were actually prosecuted for in the year 1312.
What do you mean they didn't believe in the Bible? They wear a cross as their symbol.
Okay, so look, the Templars survived. They went underground, continuing their work in secrecy, and this is why. So they believe that the book of Revelations contained esoteric truth about spiritual enlightenment. They interpret that the seven seals described in Revelations as symbolic of the chakras, the energy centers that ascend along the human spine. As each seal or chakra is open, it signifies a shift in consciousness, with old world views dying away and new levels of awareness awakening. The first four seals, often associated with the four horsemen of the apocalypse, are not seen as literal calamities, but as stages of internal transformation. The opening of the seventh seal represents the activation of the crown chakra, the pinnacle of spiritual awakening. The Templars also connect this to the concept of Christ consciousness, which they believe is the ultimate stage of enlightenment. The return of Christ, not as a physical event, but as a spiritual awakening within. The first six chakras collectively have 144 petals. The crown chakra, often called the 1,000-petaled lotus, symbolizes infinite energy and serves as a powerhouse for the lower six chakras. If this crown chakra symbolizes 1,000 petals, when multiplied by the 144 petals of the other six chakras, the total is 144,000. The same number saved from death in the Great Tribulation mentioned in Revelation. The Templars interpret this as further evidence of the mystical connection between the ancient spiritual traditions and the biblical prophecy. There's new evidence.
Wow.
Squad.
Yo, dude. I got my show on right now.
Oh, I was in the other room cooking some French toast.
Oh, right on, man. French toast. You're the French toast chef, man. You cook it right up, dude.
Yeah, it's about to be done here in about 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Right on, man. Just enough time for the show. Woo!
So here in the next month or two, I'm going to finally be able to have my music equipment shipped out here. I'm looking mighty forward to that.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Right on, man. I know you left some stuff behind.
Yeah, I have like my electric acoustic bass. I have that one-of-a-kind custom electric guitar that I just got. And then my Ovation that I just got like about 2 weeks before. So yeah, that's chomping at the bit to get it out here.
Right on, man.
And a brand new, only used one time, Fender multi-effects amp that I bought when I got that one-off electric guitar. And the electric guitar has 24 karat gold strings on it, and the Ovation has silver strings.
Right on.
Yeah. So, and they're actually both sitting in high end.
Whoa, we lost you. Lost you, bro. Well, I'll let you go eat your French toast. He's got to eat his French toast, man. If you're going to cook French toast, you got to eat your French toast. So I'm going to let him eat his French toast. He's going to eat his French toast, everybody. How long should we give him to eat his French toast? Give him about 15 minutes to eat his French toast. Eat your French toast. Eat your French toast. Okay, so let's talk cryptocurrency. Okay. Jesus is coming back. And while we wait, there's this thing called cryptocurrency, which I know some of you are pretty excited about. I am. Because it gives you the opportunity to make a little money online financially. And I think we should all take advantage of that. Although, technically speaking, I guess if we all took advantage of it, we wouldn't be able to utilize it because then we'd be all taking advantage of it. But it's kind of designed in a way that the more of us that actually look into it, the more of us that put money into it, the better it feeds us all. Apparently, from what I understand. That's how the interest goes up if more people buy into the coin. The coin is worth more collectively. So, for example, I guess Bitcoin is at around $90,000 now for one Bitcoin. And you can buy percentages of that Bitcoin for like $1, as low as $1. And slowly accrue points and money towards higher interest yields. So But from what I understand, I was watching one of these cryptocurrency classes last night, and their big suggestion was don't keep your money on a coin exchange site for too long. Or rather, don't keep large amounts of money on your coin exchange site. So if you have like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in coin, you should really cash that out, because it shouldn't be sitting on a coin exchange, because if the coins you've bought go bad, you'll lose all that money. But in some ways, if you varied your portfolio and you bought from a bunch of different types of coins, most of which are pretty strong and aren't going to have any problems, then you probably won't have any issues. Anyway, that kind of thing. Here, let's put it back on our little video. Let's go to a video. Let's see. We'll do this one next. Enjoy. Now that was just plumb weird. Wow. I can't believe how plumb weird that was. Okay, Google, can you repeat things?
Sure, sorry, I didn't understand, but I found something similar. Do you want to know how long it takes to install an escalator?
No. Okay, Google, do you broadcast?
TV is great, but I've already seen all the spoilers on the web.
See, my Bitcoin is down right now, like $1.36. I was in the $40 range just last night, like $40.93, I believe it got up to. And now it's at $39.17. It's down $1.36 in one day. So I could freak out, but hey, it's only $1.36. I'm not too freaked out about it. Fluctuation's okay. It'll go back up. There's just one thing I can do in my Element wallet. In my Element wallet, I've got some coinage that I've staked. That's one thing you can do, is you can stake. And I don't know exactly what it means, but it's a way of investing in the crypto and earning some crypto. So right now I'm at $3.05 about. But I've done these transactions, and okay, that's the way I do this. I don't remember how I do this. Okay, here we go. Now I can manage this one. I've had it in there for 2 days. Staked it. The reward rate is $7.69%. 7.69%. Stop staking. Confirm. Yeah, I've earned it, I guess. I guess I should go back in the wallet. Yeah. It didn't earn a lot. In fact, it didn't even get me up to the $5 range. So I don't know why I do that. Little things that are hard to figure out in this sometimes from the little bit of information they give you. Maybe if I'd staked out more of the cash, I don't know, it would have been better. I only have $4 in there, though. Oh, I started with $1.35. I ended with $1.35. Huh. Anyway. Let's go to another one of our videos, shall we? See how weird these get. Let's see another one here. Here we go. Here's another one. Boy, are we feeling more and more schizophrenic as the day goes by, or what, man? They're just trying to make you go schizophrenic with these videos, man. Like, they're just trying to trip you out, man. Lasers and curves and music. Yeah, they're tripping you out, man. Glad to be here, man. Glad to be here. Let's see here. Let's look at our Kingstone Bible. Where were we? Yeah, here we go. Phineas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, has turned my anger away from the Israelites. Since he was as zealous for my honor among them as I am, I did not put an end to them in my zeal. Therefore tell him I am making my covenant of peace with him. He and his descendants will have a covenant of a lasting priesthood because he was zealous for the honor of his God and made atonement for the Israelites. Then the Lord directed Moses to do a census of the whole Israelite community of men 20 years or older who could serve in the army. The total number of men from the tribes of Israel was 610,730, not counting the 23,000 Levites. And God instructed Moses to allot land in the promised land based on the number of men in each tribe. The priests attended to the tabernacle and offered daily sacrifices as Moses had commanded. After 40 years in the wilderness, just as everyone else was preparing to enter into the promised land, God called Moses up to the mountain there. After one final talk with God, he lay down and quietly died. Immediately his spirit was ushered into the presence of God. There he was able to abide until the end of time, when he would again join his people in the land God had promised Abraham. Over 400 years has gone by since Jehovah God called Abraham to leave his people and walk the land God would give him. God's promise to Abraham and Sarah to make a great nation from their son Isaac was fulfilled. They endured slavery, wandered in the desert with Moses, received the law of God, and now at last were entering the promised land. Throughout the wilderness journey, a young man was beside Moses, watching and learning how to lead the nation of Israel. The 12 sons of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, had become 12 tribes and a multitude of people. That man became the mighty warrior Joshua. After Moses went to be with God, Joshua was chosen by God to lead the people into the land God promised to Abraham. The people remembered the prophecy that they would be strangers in a strange land, and that after 400 years they would be brought back to the land of their fathers. God had kept his word. On the day they crossed the Jordan, the manna from heaven ceased, and they ate fresh food from the land. This is a wonderful land God has given us. Yes, it is a fine place to raise our children and to teach them to live in holiness and peace. Joshua. There had never been a prophet in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. But God prepared another leader to take the people into the promised land. His name was Joshua, and he had served as Moses' aide during the Exodus and in the wilderness. God then gave clear instruction to Joshua. Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all these people get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I am about to give them. I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses. No one will be able to fight against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Then you will be prosperous and successful. At the command of Joshua, the officers began preparing the people to move. God was getting them ready to cross the Jordan into the promised land. Out of the 12 tribes of Israel, 2.5 tribes had decided to take their allotment there on the east side of the Jordan. But Joshua reminded them of what God had instructed them through Moses. You are to help your brothers until the Lord gives them rest, as he has done for you, and until they too have taken possession of the land. Whatever you have commanded, we will do, and wherever you send us, we will go. Just as we fully obeyed Moses, so will we obey you. Only may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. I need you both to spy out the land, especially the city of Jericho. I need to know the topography, what the defenses look like, where the army can be assured of fresh water. As they surveyed Jericho, they looked for a home that would be at the edge of the city wall in order to aid in escaping. Once inside the city, they sought a place where they would not be conspicuous, the house of a prostitute. But the woman named Rahab knew they were Hebrews. She and the inhabitants of the city had heard the great miracles God had performed in delivering the Israelites. Follow me. Stay here on the roof under these sheaves. You might be safe unless other people have seen you enter. But it was too late. Go to the prostitute Rahab. Word has reached my ears. The Israelites are here in our city to spy to our land. Bring them to me that we may make them talk and then kill them. Knock, knock. Show us where the men are that came into your house this evening. Yes, there were men here, but I did not know where they had come from. When it was time to close the city gate, they left. Go after them quickly. We have heard how the Lord dried up the waters of the Red Sea for you, and what he did to the 2 kings of the Amorites, whom you completely destroyed. Our hearts melted, and everyone's courage failed because of you. For the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my father and my mother, the families of my brothers and sisters, that you will save us from death. Our lives for your lives. If you don't tell what we are doing, we will treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord gives us this land. Go to the hills so the pursuers will not find you. Agreed. This agreement between us will not be binding unless you have tied this scarlet rope in your window when we have entered the land. If anyone goes outside this house into the street, his blood will be on his own head. The spy is brought back to the general the full report. The Lord has surely given the whole land into our hands. All the people are melting in fear because of us. Early the next morning, Joshua and all the Israelites set out from Shittim and went to the Jordan River and camped before crossing over. When you see the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord your God and the priests who are Levites carrying it, you are to move out from your positions and follow it. Then you will know which way to go, since you have never been that way before. But keep a distance of about 1,000 yards between you and the ark. Do not go near it. Consecrate yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you. Joshua knew that before they could be effective for the Lord, their hearts must be first be right with God and devoted to him. The next morning, take up the ark of the covenant and pass on ahead of the people. So the priests went in front of the people of Israel into the promised land, and the Lord spoke to Joshua. Today I will begin to exalt you in the eyes of all Israel, so they may know that I am with you as I was with Moses. Tell the priests who carry the Ark of the Covenant, when you reach the edge of the Jordan's waters, go ahead and stand in the river. Come here and listen to the words of the Lord your God. This is how you will know that the living God is among you, and that he will certainly drive out before you all the peoples of Canaan. See, the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord of all earth will go into the Jordan ahead of you. Choose 12 men, one from each tribe. As soon as the priests who carry the Ark of the Lord of all the earth sets foot in Jordan, its waters will halt, and these men will be told what to do. And so the people of Israel moved forward to go into the land that God had promised to their forefather Abraham. God's word to Joshua proved true. As the people of Israel moved in, the waters moved out. The entire nation of Israel was able to pass through as the priests stood in the dry riverbed. The Lord then directed Joshua to have the 12 men get stones from the middle of the Jordan River to serve as a sign. In the future, when your children ask, what do these stones mean? Tell them that the flow of the Jordan was cut off before the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord. These stones are to be a memorial of the people of Israel forever. That day the Lord exalted Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they revered him just as they had revered Moses. I'll stop there. This is that Kingstone Bible. I suggest everybody buy one of these. Well, it's a three book series. There's 3 volume series. This is the first volume with the Old Testament, and then the second volume has the other part of the Old Testament, and the third volume is the New Testament. mega excited to own these. Not really. When I was a young kid, I knew someone. I had a friend in my church class who had a comic book Bible, and I just loved it. I wanted one so bad, so bad. And when I finally got a Bible, I got the worded Bible. You know, I got all the words, no real pictures. Well, some pictures, a few here and there, but not like a comic book Bible, where you get everything in storybook form with everything like, I mean, look at these pictures. I mean, look at this. You can kind of see. I mean, look at that. I mean, these people did an amazing job of basically, you know, artistically, stylistically drawing up the entire Bible. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, I've read the Bible. I'm fortunate to have read the whole Bible. And I've also listened to the whole audio Bible. And now I'm going through this comic book Bible. And I tell you what, it's amazing what God has been revealing to me through this thing. Like, I don't know. I have a zest for comic books, though. I like Batman and Robin and liked Superman, and Star Wars was once a comic, and I like comic books. I don't invest in them like I used to when I was a kid anymore, but I had to invest in this Kingstone Bible trilogy. And by invest, I mean invest, because this thing was about $80, but totally worth it. Totally worth it for the amount of good reading I get out of it. I just gave you maybe 5 minutes of a reading out of that, and like I tell you what, I got months worth of readings out of these probably coming to me now. Plenty of stuff to read and to look at. To be like, yeah, comic book Jesus, woo, yeah, comic book Jesus, going to save the day, yeah, comic book Jesus, in every way, yeah, comic book Jesus. Yeah, man. Boy, pot smells so good. I can't help it. It just smells so good. I love the smell of pot. Just like, woo, that little bit of like, kind of smells a little like skunk, just a little bit, you know? Or sometimes like flowers. It smells like flowers. Especially when you're smoking it. When you smoke skunk, it usually smells better when you smoke it than when you smell it. Something about the taste changes. Taste changes, man, when you smoke it. It's kind of flowery tasting when you smoke skunk bud. You actually smoke that stuff. It doesn't taste as skunky as much as like flowery. Many more of you should smoke pot, really. Like, it's been legalized now, and seriously, smoke pot over doing alcohol any day of the week. Because I know many of you like struggle with stress and you go, gosh, I need a beer. I need a beer because I need to unwind. Well, I got some better idea for you right here. This is called marijuana, and this is a much better way to unwind than a beer. Much better way to unwind than a beer. For one thing, it's not going to attack your liver. For another thing, you're not going to get a hangover smoking weed. You may become kind of a pacifist, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with pacifism. But let's see, I wonder if Steve is done with his French toast yet. I know, right? I wonder if he's done with it. I'll text him, I'll let you eat your French toast. Oh, here, let me show you one of my latest paintings. Since I'm an artist too, you know, I can show you one of my latest works. There you go. This is one of my latest works. See? See? Kind of a little patriot guy. You can tell it's kind of American flag-ish with the stars and the blue and red. Yeah, the red, white, and blue, baby. I need more white in there for the lines between the red because it doesn't look quite flaggy enough. I wanted a flag without looking like a flag. That's why I put stars up there and some blue lines and some red lines. Even though I needed white lines and red lines, not blue and red lines. But anyway, the blue was for the space amidst the stars, but I didn't want it to look like a flag. I wanted it to be an artistic rendering of an abstract, flaggy looking thing. And in the end, it's kind of hard to tell what this is in the first place, other than some strange character with an eye and maybe a weird beard. And it's like, has he got devil horns, or is that some sort of hoodie? I don't know. It's a trippy looking picture. And I like making trippy looking pictures. So when it got really trippy, I was like, right there, boom, click, done. You know? Once you make it look really trippy, you're done. No more work needed. Okay, I think what we're going to do is we're going to end the stream there. We're going to come back and do another stream here in a moment because I got to take a break. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you soon.